This is a different episode of Flare Factor, not the live stream, but the pre-recorded one. But I'm still like really happy to see that people are watching this, and it's the first one. So forgive us if we make some mistakes or it takes way too long to do what we want to do. So today I'm talking to Whale and Steve here about their journey in Flare in DeFi, how they met each other, and an opportunity or problem they saw that they solved with their new product. So Steve, Whale, welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to actually have an invite versus chasing out invites, actually.
You're very welcome. I've always enjoyed you guys. So would you like to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, so Whale and I kind of connected almost a year ago now. My journey started in crypto about 2018, 2019 as like just a little side hustle. I had my own business, so I wasn't too worried about it, but I did want to buy up XRP. And so I was buying XRP for a couple years, storing it in escrow. And then I had run into some financial issues around 2023, 2022, where was in a car wreck, kind of couldn't work. So I started looking at other avenues to make my money work for me. And so that's where I started looking into the things that were going on with Flare. I'd watched it launch its Songbird network, and because it was just kind of didn't really look that good on, when it pumped to like 80 cents and then dropped like a solid rock. So I knew it was there, but didn't spend a lot of time on it. Did a little bit of playing around with its liquidity pools and stuff. But then about that time, I really got serious when they launched the Flare Network product, and we started seeing all these great products roll out, and really locked into it. And then Whale and I connected later on from there on a space, and so it's been a really incredible journey since then.
Hey Lex, so good to be here. Thank you for the invite again. Yeah, my journey into crypto started in 2020 during the pandemic. When we were in lockdown, I had a bad neck injury and I was pretty much disabled. Like I couldn't do much. I couldn't work. I was doing photography full time at the time. And then I got injured, so I couldn't like even carry the camera and forget about sitting down and editing photos. And then some really weird guy, like big conspiracy theory guy, he said like, "Oh man, XRP, XRP, XRP," and beyond the conspiracy part, like something called my attention. So I started digging, and like I wasn't making any money at the time, so I was like, okay, this is it. So I started buying XRP with the little money that I had, and then for the first 2 or 3 years, I was just kind of like learning and just trying to understand what was crypto and understanding why the technology was being built and beyond the hype. And then, like Steve said, Songbird came. I got the airdrop. I dropped a whole bunch of money into Songbird, thinking that it was going to go to the moon. And then, yeah, I had my Songbird in the exchange with the sell button, and I was like, no, I don't want to be part of this like pump and dump thing. And then I wrote it all the way down, and that's kind of how I started my DeFi journey. With the Gnosis, doing like liquidity pools. And then I had a little bit of AVAX. I entered concentrated liquidity. Next thing I checked, I was completely sold out of my AVAX and into USDC, and I didn't even know what had happened. So I started just kind of like, okay, there's something here, but there has to be more. And that kind of jump started my journey into learning. And then when Flare came, I started going much deeper into like details and just trying to understand what was this, because part of me said this is the future of finance, and I think that if I want to be part of this, I need to step up my game like big time, because we can't expect to be the next generation of bankers and don't know anything about what we're doing. And I think that yeah. So 1 year and something ago, when you guys launched and Kinetic and Spartex, I started my YouTube. I think October 20th, I'll make a year. So I started making YouTube videos and just kind of trying to explore what was the best way to create the content. And Christine from Kinetic said, "Oh, why don't you do like short short form videos, just like tutorials, very much to the point. And I think that that was like the biggest success from my YouTube channel, because I see a lot of content creators that they put in the title and I want to listen to it, but I don't want to scroll for an hour to find 3 minutes of information. So my philosophy is like, don't do what you don't like to be done to you. So I started making a lot of short form videos, and I'd rather have 10 videos to talk about one topic, that each video has a specific thing. And then the channel started picking up, Flare started picking up as well. Steve texted me, just be like, hey man, what's up? I have a question about this, I have a question about that. And then we started chatting a lot. And then fast forward a few months and he was like, man, I have this app that we can create like a course, like a Patreon. So we can like upload videos and have a membership and everything. So we opened the DeFi University. And then, yeah, so that happened. And then we were doing DeFi a lot. We needed a way to track our performance, just to understand really, because I think one of the big problems with DeFi is that it's very abstract. Like you click and then you either won or you lost, but you have no idea what happened in between, you know, like the magic internet money.
Yeah.
So we had a few apps that were doing like either just liquidity pools or just specific things, but we didn't have an app that could allow us to track all of our DeFi. I saw a video on Canva about the AI agents. I sent it to Steve, and then Steve like spent a few days trying to do something. It didn't work. And then I saw the guys at Web3 Matters talking about Replit. So we started doing it, and then yeah, the rest is history. But just like it's been what, 4 months of spending hours and hours and hours in front of the computer, just trying to figure out and submit AI to our will.
So I want to add in one part of our story actually that he missed out, which I think is really like a super important part. So like our beginning was like we were looking at Flare networks and we are saying, you know, what is missing? You know, there's all these X spaces for you know, XRP, and you guys were the only ones doing an X space, and it was like what, once a month, or I can't remember how often your X space was, but wasn't like frequent. So we're like, let's do a weekly X space, and that was one of our kind of first things to, you know, we wanted to bring the community out so they could talk about Flare and what they liked about it. But we also wanted to connect with devs and builders. And that's why we reached out to people like you guys. And, you know, one of our big questions was, you know, like, why Flare? You know, what's your passion about Flare? And so, you know, our first rollout was really cool because that's what kind of connected us with the devs and let us learn more about the ecosystem. I remember one of my first posts before we had connected, I had wrote something about Amari Escher being still in school. And this was from an early interview from Hugo I saw. And Hugo sent me a message saying, she's no longer in school. She's full-time CTO. And I was like, my bad. But then that opened up you know, he didn't block me. So that was really great. And that opened up a way that, you know, we could reach out to him. And when we started the channel and the interviews, we invited him and he was like, yeah, sure. And so it was just like, I don't know, it's just been an incredible, surreal journey where we started doing a bunch of interviews. We found that was good for the network, but a lot of time we're like, you know, we're not getting, you know, our time and energy it isn't working out. This isn't a great fit. We still want to do interviews, but not weekly. And so then we kind of started seeing how else we can add value, which was where we kind of got into like the, you know, the courses and how can we help people be better and improve their knowledge set. So, you know, there's a little cool part that's missed that we missed there, which is just, you know, our really beginning of where we started with interviews, and it's just, we rolled up into becoming partial developers. It's crazy.
For sure, because also, I mean, for example, in Gnosis, we all know the story of how like certain decisions on Songbird burned their reputation. And then we had the interview with Darren, and that completely changed my perspective about the product that they were building. So just having direct, like getting involved and being interested in other people's journey has allowed us to like really grow in our own journey. And I think that has been like a great step. And also shout out to everybody on the Flare community, because everybody's super accessible. And yeah, it's I really like that part of the community, that one, it's small, so like we're growing with Flare, And two, it's just everybody has been super accessible, and then like it's been great because now the next step for our app is to implement a full automatic tracking. So you don't have to do something on the blockchain and then go back to the tracker and implement it. We want to make it that whatever you put an address to track and whatever you do on the blockchain, it reflects on the app.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we're going to have to reach out to many people to be able to implement those fixes. So it's just every piece has been like fitting in together amazingly, to be honest.
Well, I mean, so you clearly found an issue, which was an issue you were having yourself, right? You were having trouble figuring out what your assets were doing, where they were doing it, and so on, and gathering all that information. I can say from my own experience that's a big hassle. Even if you're only trying to track one asset, if it is in like 10 different protocols that all get updated on a regular basis or changed on a regular basis, it is difficult to follow everything and keep it up to date. So this is a problem you guys ran into as well, just like probably many people in the community. And then you started working on a solution. And what was the name of that solution? I think that might be useful for people to know.
So we have the DeFi University that is live on FlareForward.com. That's also our YouTube. And then the app that we're building is called DeFi Tracker Pro.com. And yeah, so that's where we are right now. And I mean, I could go on and on about how becoming a builder has changed my relationship with blockchain, because I feel like before I was always on X wishing for good news and hoping for a price increase. And now that I'm part of building, one, I have way more compassion for developers because now I understand it's coming, but it's not ready. And there was something unexpected that it's going to delay us another week or month. So that part. And also for me now, prices, it kind of changes my relationship with the prices. Like I check my charts way less often. And right now I feel like the prices going up just allows me to keep putting fuel into me, keep building. Not so much that is not the end goal. And I think that a lot of people I see that are like complaining about Flare not working or Flare not doing this or why facets took so long. And I'm like, man, do something with your life. And like, I think that the greatest opportunity of crypto is not so much the price increase, but the opportunity to build something using this technology. And I think that if more people started doing that, then we would actually get to that result of having a price increase. It's not the other way around, because if everybody's just sitting around waiting for a price increase and nobody's doing anything, then why would the price go up?
Yeah. I guess like it's clear that someone needs to use a network before it becomes valuable. That is, just like the car someone here is sitting in, it's not valuable if it's just standing there and it can't be driven. So
for sure.
Yeah. So the more people build, the more like functionality comes into being on the network, the more valuable the network will be, and also the more valuable the Flare token and all its versions will be.
The one thing, like I'm with Will, like I've gotten so much more respect for devs and builders and understanding how all this works, but also like evolution, right? Like the original concept in 2018 when he wrote it down, when Hugo and them wrote it down, has evolved because you do something, you learn something, you go, oh, this would be better if we positioned it this way. And too many people got so rigid, like we're building it this way, that's it, we're done. Like no, you're gonna find stuff along the way and go, oh, we gotta roll this back. And we've done it ourselves where we built our whole thing out and then we realized like, well, it's built out, but it's all segmented. Now we got to link it all up. And so we started that and we broke the entire system as we did it, right? So you find something new, you want to implement it, but the repercussions could be ripple effects. And so the time to do all that is just incredibly, I mean, we got to use AI. So, with vibe coding, like what would take a builder 6 months, we're doing in like 6 hours, right? So I can't imagine what it's like to have to actually write all the code, go audit all the code, and then pay to have it. Like, that's just like, I'm actually surprised it's where it's at right now, like with the amount of steps that we've seen.
All right. So guys, where are you right now with your app and with the university?
So we just submitted yesterday a grant proposal, like a debt grant proposal to Flare, because like Steve said, we are not programmers. So I feel like the next step in our app, it's a little bit above our pay grade, and we want to create like a workflow where, like I said before, you click a button on the blockchain, like so you go to Scepter, you stake your Flare into S-Flare, and then it automatically tracks that now you don't have Flare or RAP Flare, but you now have S-Flare.
Yep.
If you lend those S-Flare into Kinetic, then now it tracks that it's on Kinetic. If you borrow against it, it tracks it. So the idea is that all the rewards, like we're gonna have a reward, uh, a claimable reward tracking. So you're gonna see how much R-Flare you have claimed live-wise, how much delegation, how much staking, how many Flare drops you have claimed. You can be able to just like everything that you can think of on Flare is
Yep.
going to be reflected on the app. So that's going to be a big mission. I don't know. I honestly don't know what we're getting into, but I'm super excited because, like you said before, the app started. We really wanted to have an automatic way to track our LPs.
Yep.
Like the whole idea started that we wanted to use AI to upload a like a screenshot, and then that would update our performance of our LP. And now we're like miles ahead with all this automatic tracking. So, like you said before, solving one problem has opened up the solution for other 10 problems. And that's kind of how it is. It's like, oh, I figure out this, but now I realize that I need to change this, and this. So that's where we are right now. We're going to be working as hard as we can for as long as it takes until we can make it happen, because I feel like the one thing that motivates me the most is when people tell me that it cannot be done. So yeah, and we're updating. We're making weekly calls on the DeFi University for the paid members. We are updating the whole system. We're creating new like courses, and just like we now are having the CDPs on the noses. We're having yesterday. You guys announced the yield. How do you call it? The yield, like the Pendle like app.
Yeah. So the yield token versus the what was the other one?
Principal token. Principal token.
Yes. Yeah. You mean
Correct.
Spectra, right?
Exactly. So we will start testing that, and then we will implement that in our tracker as well. And any
You
new
heard
app
that,
that
right?
comes up. Huh?
The contracts are already there. They're just.
I saw it. So I need to do a deep dive in there and like figure it out. I need to use it because I've been trying to see Pendle for a while, but it's just on another chain, and like I haven't, like I have too many things to do. But now that it's coming, it's time to learn it. And once I learn it, I'll figure out what is the problem that I need to solve, and then just implement it in our app.
I think the other part again, like Whale, like it's been really cool because we've kind of like you got two. I always call it like two painters painting a picture, right? So our DeFi tracker, we built 90% of it, and then Ace has helped with a chunk of it as well. But like between the two of us, like it's just two artists painting a picture, and it's just coming together so awesome. But now we're trying, we've kind of we're segmenting ourselves a little bit because we're expanding now. And so Whale's really focused on our Web3 implementation, which I'm super excited about. Whereas I'm starting to look at like the ad section and bringing more people to us. And I tell you what, man, the demand for crypto I think is going to be incredible, and for DeFi. We just started running ads. We've been running just under 2 weeks,
Mhm.
and we spent $17, and we've roughly generated $4,200 in annual revenue. But the coolest thing about that is like, so we only advertise on X to people who have the top 10 tokens in their, in their profile or they're commenting about. Like that's our, so Flare is not there. I mean, you get ETH, but you don't get, we're not targeting a whole lot of like multifaceted tokens there. And so we've gotten half of the people who signed up for our full app, which means they're paying the $9 for liquidity pools and the borrowing and lending and tracking all that. So they're DeFi. But then
Yep.
the other half are not DeFi. They get our free wallet, which our free wallet actually is for sale by, like, a version of our free wallet is actually first for sale by another company for $20. So what we give away for free, somebody else is charging $20 for. But half of those have signed up to learn about DeFi. So those, when we look at somebody who signed up for our free wallet, we consider them non-DeFi users. They're obviously probably not doing liquidity pools. They're probably not doing lending and borrowing. So none of that means anything to them. But what this means is we're opening up an avenue for so many more people to learn about DeFi with our tracker and our free app. It's also connected to our university. So when people sign up, we're also getting them in front of our university to help educate them, because what we're looking forward to is a strong knowledge-based DeFi ecosystem. We don't want to have a bunch of people coming in, getting ripped off by a rug or making bad decisions, when we can help them understand how DeFi works. And so that's super exciting that we're looking at being at the forefront of a lot of people's entry into DeFi in the next 6 months, right? It's like, because we're just targeting non-DeFi people. So this is going to be a really, really fun time for us, and a lot of new people we're looking forward to add to the network. And plus the build is, our new build for fully automation is going to start on Flare only. So, those people are going to do it. It's like you could go do it manually, or you could check out Flare, which is cheap and it's built into our automation. So it's just it's a super exciting time. Like, I'm just super excited about it.
Yeah, I think that's a good target group because, as I have to remind people often, there's maybe like a 0.01% of the people on this planet that actually use DeFi. That means there is a gigantic amount of opportunity out there if you can get those people to come in, right? And the problem is usually they don't know what it is. It is difficult to get into if you have no idea, if you're not like super savvy on all kinds of things. If you're risk averse, then you don't necessarily jump in there unless you know how it works. And it's great that you guys are basically helping people across the threshold this way. So
yeah, that is our dream. Like, I feel like the way that we're going to win is that we have a strong DeFi community on Flare. And for that to happen, people need to understand and learn. And if we all do that, then we're going to have a thriving community. Like, the other option is that we have a few wolves in there and then take advantage of all the newbies that they're like just chasing yield. And I think that is not a sustainable path forward.
No, I mean that news is going to spread too, right? So
for sure,
you can do that. You can do that once or twice, and then everybody's like, okay, this is not a great place to go. All right. Yeah. I mean, having a strong community and spreading your message and knowledge that way. I mean, if every person can reach 2 other people, that's how it works, right?
We have most of the content from the university. We have it for free on YouTube. Really what we're offering on the university is like a structured learning plan.
Okay.
Like on my YouTube, I post something about Scepter, and then I post something about liquidity pools, and then I post something about CDPs, but it's kind of like all over the place, and there's not really a structure on how to learn. So really what we're offering in the university is just like, okay, start here, watch this video first, then this video, and then once you finish this, you can go to the next lesson. So that's really what we're offering on the university.
Yeah. Hey, without necessarily diving completely into that university or into the app, I think if you can share your screen for a second and just show it, so people see the URL, see what the app looks like, see what the university looks like, and what the options are like in the beginning, because I believe there is, for instance, for the app, is a 2-week sort of trial period that you can use it. I think that's an important, part for people to understand as well. But just, so that people know that they're in the correct place.
This is the DeFi den. So we have like DeFi 101. This can be accessed directly on FlareForward.com. And this is just like a basic, what is DeFi and just like why should you care? And then we go for strategy and mindset, borrowing and lending, AMMs. Then we use like 2 demos of all the platforms. And then we use the tools, tutorials. We have some on FXRP. I'm about to create a FXRP mastery channel We have the discussion here, so we can, like, all the different people can ask questions. And like Steve said, this is a safe space because there are a lot of steps to actually get in. So it's not like a scammer can just join in and start scamming people. So that's definitely a good thing. And then we have the DeFi Tracker Pro, and this is like the dashboard. And here it gives you like how many positions you have on DeFi, and like your daily fees, monthly fees, yearly fees, everything that you need to check. How's your this is a demo account, like how is your your holdings distributed. And then this is the wallet. This is part of the free version where you can set up like a wallet. A wallet can be an exchange. It can be a cold wallet, a hot wallet. It doesn't matter because this is just like
it's an address, right? So
it's not even an address. It's just a name. Okay. So this could be Uphold. And then if the asset doesn't exist, you can create new assets. You submit it, and then we accept it. And then we have liquidity pools. And here you can track your LPs and see how they're performing. And then lending and borrowing. You have like all the stuff lent and borrowed. You can check your leverage longs and shorts. So if you use some money to buy crypto, and then you know, like if you leverage some money and then you buy crypto, you can track your performance here. This is pretty great. And then the profit strategy, which is also part of the free version, which you have your tokens. And then here you can set up custom price targets to sell. And then it tells you exactly how many tokens you need to sell at that price and what is going to be your total profits. It's a really amazing tool.
I think he left off one of the coolest pieces he built. And again, it's all really cool, but you know, for the ability for a user to add a token, like that gives us so much flexibility for all kinds of meme tokens or anything else without having to go do the work ourselves. So we don't have to worry about somebody submitting anything to us per se, like, hey, can we get this token? They actually fill in a couple pieces, like they give us the data, and then, you know, we just double check that the price feeds are accurate, and we're pulling it through the FTS so we want, and boom, we're done. Like, it makes our job to scale crazy easy.
Yeah, so if there's an asset on the XRP ledger that you don't have, you can submit it here, and then we have to approve it. We have to check the CoinGecko URL. We just did an upgrade, so all the FTSO price feeds are feeding into our app. And then part of the grant proposal is to create custom feeds. So as we have user demand, we want to create custom feeds from the FTC and then add them to the app. So ideally, everything is going to be powered by Flare, even if their users are playing in another network, which would be amazing.
It's a complex but simple product. It's crazy.
Amazing. Thank you, guys. I'm sure we'll do this again at some point. But thanks a lot for coming in